Before you can really get started in Scratch, you need to understand where things are at and kind of what's going on here. So let's start off by taking a look at the interface of Scratch so we can get acquainted with the actual program itself. To begin with, on the top hand left area here, you have your control blocks, and that continues down to the left here. So this whole left hand side area is your blocks, and those blocks control your code. They are actually your code. So to go in, you can drag them over to this main code area and do all kinds of stuff. And when you click through these different buttons, different blocks will go in there. Right now we're in the motion control area. We can go into looks, sounds, pen, control, sensing, operators, and variables. You can do all kinds of really interesting things with any of these blocks of code, and depending on how you combine them and work on them, you can pretty much make whatever you want as far as a computer program goes. After that, we have this area here. This is kind of where all the code happens. So if I have a code or a block on the left-hand side here, I can click, hold, and drag and bring that onto my main area. And it now becomes part of the code. Not until it comes into this center section is it part of the code. This part of the code is dependent on what is selected here on the right-hand side. And this is where all your sprites, where your actors are kind of showing up. So right now I just have the cat, but I could have hundreds in here theoretically, and they would all have different pieces of code. I can tell that sprite 1, which is my cat, is highlighted right now because it's there, and I also have it up in the top left-hand corner. I have scripts that I can run for it, which is where I put all my blocks in. I have costumes where I can change the look and feel of my cat, and I can also add sounds. So that's real nice and easy to go there. On the top right hand side, I have my stage, and my stage is kind of the background for how everything happens and where everything's kind of going to be on my program. So this is the whole space I have to use, and I can expand this or make it different by using these buttons here on the top left hand side. So I have it really small right now, I can make it bigger, and we can play with it there. And then finally, as we talked about before, we have our area where the sprites are going to be at, and you can also change the color of the stage and give it scripts if you'd like, or control blocks. We'll talk more about that in the next video, but for right now, that's a quick introduction of the layout of Scratch.